Hello, my name is Dr. Joshua Palkki from California State University, Long Beach. During this pandemic, I'm happy to be part of the University of North Florida Jacksonville SINGS virtual week to share some fun ideas with you about small changes you can make to make your choral performances pop. I call this talk Thoughts from the Adjudicator's Table, or Why Does It All Sound the Same? These are things that I've thought many times as I've sat in the back of an auditorium adjudicating a choral festival over the last several years. And it's really inspired by being that creepy guy on the recording. You know what I mean. Hi everybody, I'm Dr. Palkki from Cal State Long Beach. Y'all look great. I'm really excited to hear your music today. In this session, I'll briefly explore 4 points. 1, do what's on the page but also make decisions. 2, think of how the music moves, not about the time signature. 3, yield to the melody. And 4, choose the right tone, style, and shaping for each piece. In modern music, it's especially important that we do what's on the page. If a composer put a marking in the score, they meant for us to do that. We also, as conductors, need to make decisions about what's on the page, and perhaps add some markings of our own. As an example, let's work with this very popular setting of Salmo 150 by Aguiar. So we very clearly see that the altos and tenors have la 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 with those marcato accents, and the little sim simile means that we're to continue that even though you don't see the markings anymore. I can't tell you how many times I hear this sung la 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 completely smooth without any regard for the marking. Now, as a conductor, we need to make a decision about this bass part. Is it going to match the style of the altos and tenors or contrast? La 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 la, or la 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 la. Either are okay, but you need to make a choice. Second, I would encourage you to think about how the music moves, not about the time signature. The example I always think about here is the Mozart Ave Verum Corpus. So common time 4/4 is written. So I encourage you start conducting in 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Keep going. Ave, Ave Verum Corpus. Not incorrect, right? Now I encourage you to conduct in 2 and sway your body from side to side. Left, right, left, right. So to me, you can disagree, but to me, this music moves in 2, not in 4, right? Superimposing 4 onto this melody, to me, makes it less musical. So even though the time signature says 4/4, I really believe that this music is in 2. Yielding to the melody. So sometimes this is obvious and sometimes this isn't, right? So this is a classic example, Richte, Mich, Gott by Mendelssohn. So you have the tenors and basses who have this beautiful opening melody, and then all of a sudden they pass it off to this melody in the sopranos and altos, right? And Mendelssohn even helps you out by giving you a diminuendo to piano, right? But if not everyone in the tenor and bass section really yields to that, you might even consider only having part of the tenor and bass section sing that sustained A. That beautiful melody in the soprano and alto can be covered up. Sometimes it's less obvious. This is from Indodana, a beautiful South African folk song arrangement. And here you have the melody in sort of in the middle of the choir. So you have tenors and basses sustaining these oohs, and then you've got a small group of sopranos and altos on top. So really listening for balance and making sure that the melody can come through in a texture like this is very, very, very important. Choosing the right tone, the right style, and the right shaping for each piece is really important. And like most of these suggestions, a lot of these connect back to suggestion 1, which is do what's on the page, but also make decisions. So for example, here we have this beautiful chanson that is very popular among high school choirs. La la la, je ne lo, di da di. You know this, yeah? So we have two sections, right? So we have the section that comes, that ends there at measure 7, and then we've got a second section that begins here, right? So obviously this is from a time when composers were not giving us a lot of instruction in terms of markings, so we as conductor teachers have decisions to make, right? So we can make a big difference here in terms of style. So to me, these two sections call out for a very different style, right? If we sang this la la la, je ne lo, je ne lo, je ne l'ose dire, la la la, je le vous dirai, la la la, je le vous dirai. I hear that pretty often. And my supposition is that I think a lot of high school choirs especially are really working on a beautiful legato line. And that's fantastic. That's a great goal. But once they have that, they sort of apply that to every single piece, right? Where to me, this music calls out for la la la, je ne lo, je ne lo, je ne l'ose dire, la la la, je le vous dirai, la la la, je le vous dirai, right? And then in this second section, di da 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 di, you get a beautiful contrast if you choose a lighter ba 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 di da di da in the first section. As an example, let's look at this hypothetical set of pieces that one might perform at a concert or at a festival. Two of the three we've worked with before. So if you started with the chanson, the Je le vous dirai, we talked about how you could make that A section nice and light and bouncy. Di da di da di da, with a di da di da di da di da bi da di. And in general, since this is Renaissance music, we want to make sure that it is not too heavy on the vibrato. Similarly, if we program the Mozart Ave Verum Corpus in the middle as our sort of slow piece, we can use that's where we can really use this beautiful sustained legato, and not too heavy, right? Not too much vibrato. We don't want to, err on the side of Brahms with Mozart. And a staple of the classical style is this balanced phrasing, right? So really thinking of shaping these beautiful balanced phrases. So if you chose to close with the Joan Szymko, It Takes a Village, that it takes a whole village to raise our children. If you don't know that piece, it's fantastic. This is a piece where we could use a fuller tone with a healthy use of some more chest mixed in, especially since the first two pieces we've done have been on the lighter side, and a use of more healthy vibrato in the sound. So this is an example of how within a 3-piece set, you could really achieve very different styles that would be appropriate to the piece. As a sort of coda, I would recommend that you choose repertoire that highlights the strengths of your ensemble and then make decisions that will help the choir, right? So I think of those of you that might be teaching junior high or even high school, and you've got students with changing voices, and you've got to modify or rewrite parts or even create new parts to be comfortable for those singers. That's a way of really making the repertoire work for you, right? It's really important that we choose music that's appropriate for the ensemble, not just music we love, right? Especially early in our teaching career, we want to choose those really difficult pieces that we sang in college, but sometimes our high school singers just aren't ready for that, especially if we're building a program. Thank you so much for listening. Again, my name is Dr. Joshua Palkki from California State University, Long Beach, and I would love to hear any questions that you have, or comments, or disagreements, and I hope that you have an amazing day. Thank you so much for letting me speak to you today.